Okay, episode 2.
We made it, guys.
The Epique Edge. We have a lot to cover today. We just got back from Row 25, which was a summit down in Biloxi, Mississippi, where we got together with about 75 people. There was
great minds, a lot of collaboration.
So we've got some key takeaways. We thought we would share that with you today on the podcast. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss that. First, I wanted to go through, I think it's important that people know your story. Not everybody knows your story, Hayden. So I want you to talk to the audience about how you got into real estate and what you've been able to do in the time that you've been in real estate.
Well, guys, my story is a lot different than most. June 2nd, 2016, me and my wife finally committed to buying a couple of rental homes. Literally took every dollar we had just to buy 2 homes. For the first year or two, all I did was invest in real estate while working a full-time job at the power company. Done that for a couple of years, realized really fast that I needed to gain access to houses that were on the market after hours when most agents didn't want to work. So my first initial goal was just to gain my realtor license, just to buy rental homes, because I was buying so many. I was trying to get in the doors at 8, 9 o'clock at night. And of course, nobody wants to go show a $20,000 house at 9 o'clock at night in a not so good area.
Wait a minute, I'm going to stop you right there. So you were working a full-time job, a physically demanding full-time job.
Yep.
So would it be fair to say that you didn't exactly have a lot of extra energy left over to go look at these $20,000 houses at night?
I did not. Lots of 60-hour weeks, and I prided myself on being the hardest working person there, pulling the most overtime. And but again, driven by caffeine and dedication and resilient grit, we are now where we are today.
You guys had a goal. You guys had a goal of like what you wanted life to look like in a few years.
That's right. So it has changed a lot. My goals are always ever moving. I have goals every day on what I want to eat in a day to compared to what I want to look like at the end of the year, to weight goals, to weight loss goals, to depending on where we're at in life.
So you started selling real estate. So you bought rentals.
Yep. And
you continued to work your full-time job.
Yep. So we worked a full-time job at the power company. My wife worked a job as well. Bought rentals, rehabbed them at 11 o'clock at night, was going to bed at 12 o'clock at night, and getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym every day. And we ended up, during that time frame, before I got my real estate license, roughly around 25 doors in 3 years. I ended up getting my real estate license, and first official day was July 2nd of 2020. And I'll never in my life forget going to my first brokerage. And my managing broker told me, he's like, look, man, with you working a full-time job, working as much as you do, like, you'll be doing good to sell 6 houses in the first year. And I laughed at him. I said, I will be your highest producing agent by the end of the year.
Because 6 in a year sounded
there's a lot when you've never done
failure.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. So
right.
my first month, I done 2 deals, and then after that, I think I averaged about 3 or 4 a month. First 4 months, I ended up selling 26 homes. First full year of real estate, side hustling in 21 range, we sold 56 homes. 56 homes
in the year 2021, part-time.
Part-time.
As if there's really any part-time. It's all dual career, especially if you're hustling that hard. That's not too bad.
No.
You had no backing, you weren't on a team. In fact, you grew a team during that time.
Yep, so we started out just myself only, and then I realized that doing 60 deals a year is a wonderful feat. But I realized I was starting to age faster than most, so we decided to start a team. Great adventure. Ended up getting up to I think we got up to the 3rd largest team at one time in West Tennessee. I think at our most, we've done 125 deals in 1 calendar year in a down economy. So pretty good sized team that was doing over 100 deals.
Not bad. And then you became more, as time went on, you sold less residential real estate and you started purchasing more investments, correct?
That's correct. So now we're going to be approaching the 200 door mark at the end of this year, which was a great goal of mine. And
it's a fantastic goal.
It is. Knowing that you get paid on the first ever month is a pretty good feat.
Yeah.
So But got out of daily production, started building great systems, delegation, and hiring the right people at the right time, and hiring them and giving them such a good job, hopefully, that they'll never leave is probably the most important part.
I think one of the things that I admire about you the most, and why I thought when I first met you, God, this guy's smart. You take a situation and you look at it and go, how many jobs can I create out of this situation? Like, how can we grow a business around this? And then you just go to work and make that happen. And the minute you can step out of something, you leverage it to somebody else, you step out of it and you're on to the next venture. I've seen you do that with just a handful of businesses just in a very short time. So,
I mean, you can't do everything. Every business has multiple positions that need to be filled. You might temporarily have to do something, just to get your feet wet or understand the process. But once you get to a point that you understand the process and you're overloaded and you need help, there's a time for delegation. Some of the biggest empires in business have fallen apart because lack of delegation.
That's true. I mean, most people cap out on what they're able to do because they can't delegate or just don't know how.
That's right.
And
nobody can do it as good as you can in most cases, but finding that person that can do it better than you is probably the most important part of business.
So managing your expectations.
That's right.
And even when like a position's filled or whenever you've got things running smoothly, you're always looking for that next hire, right? Because if you don't have the next hire, you are the next hire if you own a business. Yeah, that's kind of a cool story. So baby number 1 is on the way, due this next month.
That's correct.
And Holly is working in the title business. So she's working in business with you now, which is awesome. Now it's a family affair.
It is. Side note, one of the most important things that I've come to realize is everybody has an excuse to not succeed. And 2 things that people always use against me is A, you're only able to work as hard as you do because you don't have a kid, and or B, you're only able to do what you're doing because you're 32 years old. So my biggest argument, I'm really good at arguing. Maybe should have been a lawyer. That's right. That's what my mom says. So anyways, the 2 biggest things that have been used against me should be fuel for your fire compared to most. If you're in your 40s and you haven't acquired amass wealth, you have a better opportunity than I do because you're more established in business. You should be. You have the better opportunities than I do because my age has been used against me just as much as it's been used for me.
You heard you're too young.
That's right. Too young. That's right. And lack of experience. Even down to 08 and 09, when the market went crazy and housing markets crashed, banks realized they don't like managing properties. So the Chicken Little mindset of, hey, that happened one time, I'm going to be scared to do that again for the next 20 years, kind of like our conversations with the North Settlement.
Right.
Any opportunity in life can be used as a opportunity for success or an opportunity for failure. It's absolutely 100% your choice.
That's true. So much wealth is created when the bad things happen, whether it's the 08 crash of the real estate market or just the way things are changing. Like opportunities are through every challenge.
Like the North Settlement, that's the most current and most recent thing we kind of went through. Yes, there were changes. A lot of people used it as a scarcity tactic to move people in or out of the business or move them to different firms.
And some of that's done naturally, by the way, too. I mean, it just the way it is. That's what happens in the real estate market.
But you look at it and you say that the business is going to be the same. I mean, there might be a small adjustment, but all right, so they changed one thing. Let's make an adaptation to the rules and follow the rules, of course, and
of course. I heard Tom Ferry say the other day, he's like, it doesn't really matter what we think about how they've changed the rules, like what they've changed. It doesn't matter what we think about it. They could be 100% wrong, but they are what they are, and we just have to adapt, sharpen our sword, get better at what we're doing. We'll talk more about that in a minute, and keep moving on. Like the time and energy spent complaining about it and going against the grain it's just wasted.
That's right. I mean, it's nothing that we can control. So when you can't control it, you can either let it decapitate your business and be the limiting factor of what you believe, and or when it does happen, be aware of what you're supposed to be doing, make adaptations, and keep going with your business. You have 2 options.
So I'll put you on the spot.
Okay.
He loves it when I do that. I'll put you on the spot and ask you, if somebody was going to get started with investing, what's one key piece of advice you would get somebody who's never done an investment property before, never taken that kind of a leap or risk? What advice would you give?
First, I'll give you a handful of advice. The very first thing that I would suggest is understanding your numbers. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to somebody and like, hey, I want to buy in real estate. That's fine. Great. I encourage you to do it, but find your numbers that you're comfortable with. Mine are different from some. That's okay. No, there is no wrong way to buy real estate. But you just got to find the numbers and the method that you're comfortable with. So that would be my first suggestion. Second suggestion would be to probably, and I call it playing the small guy. For the first 5 years of me investing, I would go to the big fish, the guy that had 30, 40 rentals, and I would say, hey, look, I don't know anything about real estate. I don't know how you buy real estate, but teach me anything you can. And playing that card and being the person that's not scared to learn.
Right.
That's right. Be the person that's not scared to learn something. And then all of a sudden you're going to look up and they're going, hey man, like I got 2 or 3 properties I really don't want. Would you be interested in buying them? Like, well, I will. Just let me make sure they check my boxes.
That makes sense. That's good advice. That's solid advice. Anything else about your story that we haven't covered?
I don't think so.
Look, it's a cool story. It's inspiring because it doesn't matter whether somebody's brand new in real estate and doesn't have the experience that they think they need to be successful. I think, a lot of times we compare our insides to other people's outsides. So we look at somebody like you and, well, I can never do what he did. I mean, look what a grand scale he's doing business. And like, you just started, you just went to work and you just started grinding. And you told me sometimes you would sleep 2-3 hours a night. Yep. I mean, it took nights like that for you to get through. And quite honestly, there's still nights like that.
Yeah. I mean, and guys, I know that what I've done in a very short period of time is, it's a great feat, and like I'm extremely proud of myself. But every person has the same opportunity I had. I come from nothing. We just risked it. We risked it all, and we worked our butts off, and we are where we are today. I've only been in full-time real estate for 2 years yesterday. So
yeah, but you know a lot more than the average bear about real estate. You've done a lot of transactions in those 2 years.
Counting rentals, we're probably close to 1,000 in 6 years.
Not bad. So, not bad. Well done. Bet your mama is proud of you.
Some days.
Well, thanks for sharing your story. Let's talk about this event we just went to in Biloxi. Yeah. We went to a Grow 25 Summit. And this was an epic event, and there were seven coaches in the room.
There was a handful.
Maybe more than that. And it
national coaches on top of that.
And we both had some takeaways. We both had some key takeaways that we brought home with us and that we definitely wanted to share with you. I'll let you go first with your first one.
So for me, more than not, it was very impressive. I mean, it's always a wonderful thing when you can get 7 like-minded individuals into a room of great knowledge. It's truly amazing when people sit down at the end of the table and everybody automatically just organically just shuts up and listens. Like the amount of, it's kind of like a sensei moment where when he speaks or somebody speaks, you automatically listen and you take value from it. For me, more than not, it was getting that many high producing agents from across the nation together and having a huge mindset of collaboration and friendly competition, of course, but adapting that into your business and, understanding of what they're coming from. But from a goal standpoint, I think the 2 biggest things that I saw across the board is out of all your 7 to 10 high producers, however many there was, consistency and dependability has always been the biggest thing. And it's hard, guys. Like, I'll be the first person to say that. Like, you're not going to walk in every day and have the energy at 10 out of 10, right? Caffeine, thank God, picks that up. But what if you're just having a bad day all around?
And right? You do. You have bad days.
That's right.
That's a real deal.
But learning how to respond to that is probably your most important thing.
Sure.
You can let it decapitate you, or you can let it, use that to fire you up for the next day. Your choice.
Like, you have to have that mindset and that determination to go, nobody really cares how I feel.
That's right.
Nobody cares that I don't have energy. Nobody cares that the baby didn't sleep last night or that I've got family drama going on. Like, nobody cares. Your business doesn't care. Just get up and do it consistently every day anyway.
And that's right. And if you struggle or you do something wrong, okay, don't do it again. We'll start off the next day and do it right. And if you fail again, do it again. Well,
shout out to Lee Garland, who was really the host of this event. Lee's been a coach and runs a huge team in Southern Mississippi. So if you have Hattiesburg, Jackson, Brandon, Mississippi referrals. Give Lee Garland a call. The Garland Group will take good care of you. But he put on this event. He was the mastermind behind this whole thing, and it was a great event. I know, like, when he asked us to speak on different things, the first initial thought was, why? Like, I feel like I fail every day. Like, you never see yourself as being somebody that should or could command a room or do something, but that's when you know you're doing things at the right cadence, is when you fail. When you look at what you did that day and you're like, okay, I messed that up. Tomorrow I'm going to do it better. And yeah, sure enough, the next day you get better.
One of the most important things I think I heard Lee say the entire thing is the only way you fail is when you quit.
That's right.
So if you quit, you have 100% success of failing. Just stop. Like, you're just done. As long as you just don't quit, you're good. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Just don't stop.
It would be awful to go through all of that and to do all of the trial, experience the failure, and then never see it through. Like, that's sad. So yeah, don't do that. So collaboration over competition. You think that's really the big take home there.
Right.
Like, if your surroundings are not supportive of your goals, or they're not pushing you to think differently, or sometimes, just to be honest, quite out just hurt your feelings. Sometimes, like, Hayden will say things, I'm like, God, that hurt my feelings. And under my breath, I think, man, he's so right in what he's saying. So if you're not in a room where you're constantly being challenged and pushed and inspired, like, God, change your surroundings, whether that be a company, whether that be your friend network, whether that be the family. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes you have to draw a boundary with family members. And it's sad, but it just is what it is. You can't afford to have your business suffer because of it. So get in the right room to support growth and uncomfortability. That would be a good word for that.
I think one of my favorite questions to ask is when somebody gives me a huge goal of what they've accomplished, or a goal that they've hit from a production goal standpoint, weight loss, whatever it is. The question, I'm always like, high five, congrats, like, you've done it, like, I'm proud of you. But what's next?
Now what?
What's next? And then you literally see people's mind shift of, oh dang, I haven't thought about that yet. You know, that's a really cool part of it.
You always got to be pushing. And that is one thing I've noticed about you. You're never satisfied, right? You're always chasing that next thing, looking toward that next goal, like your metric. You know exactly what you're going for, and you know 2 or 3 steps ahead what you're going for. So I think it's a critical factor in your success. A couple of my takeaways from the summit: we were lucky enough to have Coach John Cheplack bounce into a 30-minute session in one of our days there. And he said that business is 80% mindset and 20% tactics. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so true. Especially real estate agents, we think we have to know it all before we go and do. And really, like, the tactics, I mean, that's some of it, like, but it's really in your head. Like, I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Zig Ziglar. I'm probably quoting that wrong, but he said business is neither bad or good. It's like bad or good in your head. Like, business is just, it's in your head. So he talked about having a good mindset and why that's such a big driver of your business versus the tactics. Now, don't get me wrong, we focused on the tactics. We talked a lot about the NAR settlement. We talked about how to be better buyers representatives. Realtors have we've done damage to ourselves, unfortunately, by showing, our social media posts are, just sold, one day on the market. We show how easy and fun and how HGTV our business is, and we don't show the 7 times that transaction fell apart and we had to put it back together. We don't show the ugly, the hard days. And I think we've got to get a better job of telling that narrative to buyers and sellers of, hey, this may not be a smooth road, but I'm going to get you to the finish line.
Selling sunset's not always the key.
It's hurt our business. So we focused a lot on, like, how to craft that message, how to get better at explaining our value to the buyer or the seller, so that they know who they're in business with and what the outcome's going to be. Showing our work. We don't show our work. We only show the pretty work. And we've really kind of done some damage to ourselves as an industry with that. So we talked a lot about crafting that unique selling proposition, what that looks like in this market going forward, which, by the way, we should have been doing the whole time. It's just an adapting market that we just have to make some pivots to.
But back to Cheplack, you want to talk about some energy. Oh my goodness. He brought so much value, very in your face and very energetic at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how many cups of coffee he had, but he had definitely had a few, which I was on game with. So
he said he had been going since like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I mean, my energy at lunchtime is not what his was.
No, it was amazing. It was one of the few times I've heard him speak, and I could definitely sit in a room with him for a couple of days.
Yeah, I could learn a thing or two from him. So he said, one of the big things that he said is have 10 2-minute conversations with your sphere of influence every single day. And he said consistency, talking to your point, consistency is currency. So like, if we never did anything else, I think real estate agents are really good about chasing the shiny object. We're really good at buying those leads because we don't want to call our friends, family, and past clients. It makes no sense to me. But if we get purposeful about just the basics, having 10 2-minute conversations about real estate with people that you already know, you do that consistently and no one can stop you in this business. It's true.
But more importantly too, like, it doesn't even have to be real estate related. No. You can call and check in on a friend for 2 minutes. I think more importantly, the thing that he was trying to get across the line was you have to stay top of mind.
Top of mind.
Like it might not be something somebody you've talked to in 5 years. Just call, reach out to them, because you never know what they're about to do. You never know what they're going through. I think that was truly what he was trying to get across.
Well, there used to be used to everybody could name 1 or 2 agents. Probably everybody that you're talking to now, they can name like 5 or 6 agents, and 2 of them maybe family members. So it's more important than ever to be top of mind, because there are a lot of agents. And I think the market will kind of shake some of that out. Some people will go out of the business. A lot of people have already gone out of the business. And you'll watch other businesses grow because of the change and just their attitude and adaptation toward change. Well, it was a cool 2 days.
It was.
We managed to have a little fun.
Lots of fun, lots of knowledge, and lots of collaboration.
Work hard, play hard.
That's right.
We did that. So hopefully you took some good ahas from this. If you want more of our notes, reach out to one of us. Follow us on your favorite social media channels. Message us. We're happy to give you more information and help you any way we can. I'm Angie Davis.
I'm Hayden Edmondson.
Have a great week.
See you guys.
I need you to like sit up and not spin your chair.